Why hard work alone will never make you rich. Most people are told that working hard is the key to financial success, yet millions of hardworking individuals struggle to get ahead no matter how many hours they put in. The idea that effort automatically translates to wealth is deeply ingrained, but it's a myth. Money is influenced by far more than diligence or hustle. Factors like timing, opportunity, connections, education, and structural conditions play a huge role. Understanding why hard work alone cannot guarantee riches is essential for anyone aiming to build lasting financial freedom. This video breaks down the hidden truths behind effort, luck, and systemic realities, showing why working harder isn't always the same as getting richer. Now, the myth of hard work equals wealth. Hard work is often glorified in society as the ultimate path to success, yet the data tells a different story. Millions of people toil long hours in jobs with stagnant wages or limited upward mobility, yet their financial situation barely changes. Hard work alone cannot overcome structural inequalities, market dynamics, or shifts in industry demand. The myth persists because it is comforting. If someone believes that effort always pays off, failure becomes a personal flaw rather than a systemic reality. Even in entrepreneurship, hard work doesn't guarantee financial success. Countless startups fail despite founders putting in enormous effort, long hours, and relentless commitment. Factors like market timing, consumer behavior, and competitive advantage often outweigh sheer determination. The reality is that effort is a necessary ingredient, but not a sufficient one. It must be paired with strategy, positioning, and opportunity to produce wealth. Cultural narratives reinforce this myth. Stories of self-made millionaires or billionaires are often presented as proof that hard work alone suffices, while the countless individuals who worked just as hard and didn't achieve similar wealth are ignored. These selective examples skew perception, making it seem like anyone can become rich purely through effort, when in reality, systemic and contextual factors heavily influence outcomes. Society often equates time spent with value, rewarding long hours rather than high-leverage action. Hourly wages, overtime, and physical labor reflect effort but rarely scale into wealth-building mechanisms. Without mechanisms like investments, ownership, or intellectual property, hard work is bound by linear constraints. Time spent equals income earned. In other words, effort has limits while wealth potential can grow exponentially in certain circumstances. Finally, understanding the myth of hard work equaling wealth allows individuals to focus on more effective strategies. Hard work is valuable, but without knowledge, leverage, and strategy, it will rarely translate into significant financial freedom. Recognizing this distinction is crucial for anyone seeking to break beyond conventional limitations and pursue meaningful wealth creation. Why effort doesn't equal? Financial freedom effort is often equated with financial security, but in reality, income generation is influenced by leverage, skill, capital, and timing, not just diligence. People can work multiple jobs, consistently save and live frugally, yet still struggle to accumulate meaningful wealth. This is because effort alone operates linearly. Your earnings are tied to the time and energy you invest, while financial freedom depends on mechanisms that scale beyond hours worked. For example, salaried work, hourly jobs, and small-scale freelance work are all constrained by personal bandwidth. No matter how many extra hours you put in, there is a ceiling to your earning potential unless other factors like promotions, investments, or passive income streams come into play. Hard work amplifies outcomes only when paired with scalable opportunities. Effort without strategic allocation can also result in burnout rather than wealth. Many high-performing individuals exhaust themselves in pursuit of financial goals without addressing efficiency, leverage, or compounding effects. Over time, the physical and mental toll of relentless labor may reduce overall productivity and limit wealth creation potential, illustrating that effort alone is not synonymous with financial freedom. Furthermore, financial freedom is influenced by factors beyond personal effort. Investments, business ownership, intellectual property, and passive income streams can create returns independent of labor hours. These mechanisms allow wealth to grow exponentially, unlike traditional work where income is tightly coupled to personal effort. Recognizing the distinction between effort and leverage is key to achieving long-term financial stability. Lastly, financial literacy plays a pivotal role in bridging the gap between effort and freedom. Understanding money management, investment strategies, and wealth-building mechanisms transforms hard work from a linear activity into a multiplier of financial opportunity. Without knowledge, even relentless effort can fall short of producing the financial independence most people aspire to. The role of luck in wealth. Creation. Luck is a factor most people hesitate to acknowledge, but it plays a crucial role in who becomes wealthy. Timing, geography, family background, social connections, and economic conditions often determine access to opportunities. Two equally talented and hardworking individuals can experience vastly different financial outcomes based on circumstances beyond their control. Recognizing luck's influence doesn't diminish effort. It contextualizes why effort alone cannot guarantee wealth. Opportunities often arise unpredictably. Meeting the right mentor, entering a booming industry, or encountering a market trend can accelerate financial growth rapidly. These moments are not strictly the result of diligence. They are the convergence of timing, preparation, and circumstance. Those who attribute wealth solely to effort overlook the complex interplay of preparation and chance that often determines outcomes. Luck also interacts with societal structures. Being born in an affluent area, attending well-resourced schools, or having access to capital creates advantages that compound over time. Conversely, systemic disadvantages can limit opportunities despite equal or greater effort. Understanding that luck and context influence wealth shifts the focus from blame to strategy, maximizing the impact of both effort and opportunity. In entrepreneurship, luck is particularly visible. Market timing, odd consumer behavior, regulatory changes, and competitive dynamics can make or break ventures. Two founders with identical skills and work ethic can experience drastically different results purely based on uncontrollable external factors. Awareness of luck helps balance expectations and underscores the importance of positioning and risk management alongside effort. Finally, acknowledging the role of luck encourages realistic goal setting and strategy development. Hard work prepares you for opportunities, but financial outcomes are shaped by multiple factors, not effort alone. By combining preparation, strategic decision-making, and recognition of contextual advantages, individuals can maximize their probability of financial success without relying on effort as the sole determinant. For systemic barriers that hard work can't overcome. Even extraordinary effort cannot always overcome systemic barriers. Structural inequality, discrimination, access to quality education, and economic mobility limitations prevent many from translating labor into wealth. Regardless of determination, systemic factors can cap opportunities, restrict income growth, and create invisible ceilings on financial potential. Recognizing these barriers is essential to understanding why effort alone is insufficient. Economic and labor structures often reward those already positioned with capital, knowledge, or connections. Individuals entering the same industries without those advantages may experience slower growth despite equal dedication. Structural inefficiencies, wage disparities, and market concentration create conditions where the relationship between effort and reward is asymmetrical. Social mobility is influenced by factors such as family wealth, access to mentorship, and geographic location. Even highly skilled and diligent individuals may find advancement limited by institutional biases or resource scarcity. Hard work may improve personal skills, but systemic limitations can restrict the translation of those skills into substantial financial gain. Additionally, industries differ in scalability potential. Some sectors inherently limit income based on time, demand, or regulation, meaning exceptional effort produces diminishing returns. Recognizing where systemic barriers exist allows individuals to target opportunities where effort, leverage, and strategic positioning align to create more meaningful wealth potential. Ultimately, systemic barriers demonstrate that financial success is not purely meritocratic. Hard work is essential, but without navigating structural realities and leveraging opportunities, wealth accumulation remains constrained. Understanding these dynamics allows for smarter decision-making and more realistic approaches to building long-term financial independence. Income versus assets. What really matters? Many people confuse high income with true wealth, but they are not the same. Income is what you earn from working, whereas assets generate money independently of labor. A six-figure salary may feel impressive, but if all earnings are consumed by expenses and debt, real wealth remains minimal. So understanding the distinction between income and assets is fundamental for building financial freedom and long-term wealth. Assets act as money-making machines, producing returns, even when you are not actively working. Stocks, real estate, businesses, or intellectual property provide compounding effects that transform capital into ongoing financial growth. Without assets, no amount of effort or high salary can produce exponential wealth because income alone is linear. It stops when work stops. Relying solely on income creates vulnerability to interruptions in work. Illness, layoffs, market downturns, or unexpected expenses can erase years of earnings, highlighting the importance of building a portfolio of income-generating assets. Assets, on the other hand, create resilience and financial stability, ensuring that wealth is not tied directly to labor or time. Many people focus on lifestyle inflation, using increased income to fund larger expenses rather than acquiring assets. This creates the illusion of wealth without building true financial security. The difference between appearing wealthy and being wealthy lies in control over assets rather than chasing higher paychecks. Furthermore, the compounding power of assets far exceeds linear income. Even modest investments, if structured and maintained over time, can grow significantly, surpassing what decades of high income could achieve. Recognizing this distinction shifts the focus from working harder for more money to allocating resources strategically to build self-sustaining wealth. Finally, understanding the difference between income and assets reframes personal finance decisions. Prioritizing asset accumulation, reinvestment, and compounding returns is the key to true financial independence. While relying solely on earned income leaves individuals exposed to the limitations of time and effort. The trap of trading. Time for money trading hours for dollars is the most common financial trap people fall into. Most jobs, freelance work, or consulting positions operate on this principle. Your earning potential is limited by the number of hours you can work. Even if you work 80 hours a week, income growth eventually hits a ceiling. True wealth requires breaking free from this linear relationship between time and money. This trap is reinforced culturally. Society often praises overwork, presenting long hours as a path to success. So while effort is necessary, tying financial growth strictly to time spent ignores opportunities for leverage, scalability, and passive income. Hours spent working may increase earnings slightly, but rarely lead to financial freedom without other mechanisms in play. Freelancers and small business owners often experience this firsthand. While they may charge higher rates than employees, their income is still constrained by their personal availability. Even exceptional skill cannot overcome the finite nature of time, making time for money trades inherently limited in long-term wealth creation potential. The opportunity cost of trading time for money is significant. Hours spent on low-leverage work could be invested in acquiring assets, learning high-impact skills, building networks, or creating systems that generate income independently of personal effort. Every hour spent purely exchanging labor for dollars is a missed chance to scale financial impact. Breaking the time for money trap requires leveraging systems, technology, and other people. Delegation, automation, and scalable business models allow wealth to grow beyond personal input. Understanding the limitations of trading time for money empowers individuals to focus on activities that multiply earnings instead of merely increasing hours worked. Finally, escaping this trap transforms perspective. Wealth is no longer a function of effort alone. It becomes a function of smart resource allocation, leverage, and long-term strategy. Recognizing the finite nature of time allows for deliberate choices that prioritize sustainable financial growth. Asks why most millionaires didn't just work hard. Contrary to popular belief, most millionaires did not become wealthy solely through relentless work. While effort played a role, the majority leveraged assets, networks, timing, and strategic decisions. Studies show that high-income earners are rarely the same as high-wealth individuals. The key difference lies in the ability to scale resources rather than simply earn more money through labor. Millionaires often invest early, take calculated risks, and focus on compounding returns rather than chasing incremental income. Their wealth is built on systems, businesses, and investments that generate ongoing financial growth without requiring continuous personal effort. Hard work is only one part of a multifaceted strategy that includes leverage, opportunity, and asset accumulation. Luck and timing also play a significant role. Being in the right place at the right time, entering a booming industry, or meeting influential mentors often accelerates wealth accumulation. While effort prepares individuals for opportunity, chance often determines who ultimately benefits most. Recognizing this interplay between preparation and circumstance demystifies the illusion that hard work alone is sufficient. Entrepreneurial and investment strategies further explain why millionaires scale wealth beyond labor. Businesses, intellectual property, and financial instruments allow money to grow exponentially, while linear income from a job hits a ceiling. Millionaires consistently prioritize activities that multiply returns rather than solely increasing personal input. Cultural messaging often obscures these realities. High popular narratives glorify individual effort while downplaying the role of strategy, leverage, and structural advantage. Understanding the true paths to wealth requires looking beyond effort and analyzing the systems, decisions, and frameworks that enable money to work for individuals rather than the other way around. Finally, this perspective shifts focus from blind hard work to strategic action. By studying how the wealthy structure their income, assets, and networks, individuals can apply similar principles to scale wealth effectively, ensuring that effort contributes to growth rather than merely sustaining a paycheck. The power of leverage: money, people, and ideas. Leverage is the ultimate multiplier in wealth creation. Money, people, and ideas are the three key forms of leverage that allow individuals to scale impact beyond personal labor. Money can be invested to generate returns. People can be mobilized to execute projects, and ideas can produce exponential value when shared and applied strategically. Understanding leverage is essential to moving from hard work to true wealth creation. Financial leverage involves using capital to generate more capital. Investments, real estate, or business ventures allow money to compound over time, producing returns that grow independently of personal effort. This contrasts sharply with income earned solely through labor, which is linear and limited. Properly managed, financial leverage accelerates wealth far beyond what effort alone can achieve. Human leverage amplifies outcomes through networks and delegation. By mobilizing skilled individuals, mentors, or teams, one can execute projects at scale, turning vision into tangible results without being constrained by personal bandwidth. Many successful entrepreneurs and investors rely on human leverage to expand businesses and investments exponentially. Intellectual leverage, or leveraging ideas, is equally powerful. Innovative concepts, intellectual property, and creative solutions can be scaled globally with minimal incremental effort. A single idea, once properly executed, can generate disproportionate returns compared to the labor required to create it. This is why innovation and problem-solving often underpin major wealth creation. Combining these forms of leverage creates compounding effects. Money invested wisely, executed by talented people, and guided by innovative ideas can generate exponential wealth growth, breaking the limits of time for money constraints. Understanding how to use leverage strategically is the key differentiator between high earners and truly wealthy individuals. Finally, mastering leverage requires both knowledge and action. Hard work builds a foundation, but strategic use of money, people, and ideas allows individuals to achieve wealth that is not constrained by hours worked. Recognizing the power of leverage transforms the approach to building financial independence and long-term security. Passive income, the secret ingredient. Passive income is the often overlooked cornerstone of lasting wealth. While active labor produces linear income, Passive streams generate money even when you are not working. Investments in stocks, bonds, rental properties, high royalties, or digital products allow individuals to create financial momentum, letting money work for them rather than exchanging hours for dollars. This is the key reason why effort alone rarely builds real wealth. Generating passive income requires upfront effort and strategic planning, but once established, it compounds over time. Unlike traditional wages, passive income grows without the continuous input of labor, enabling scalability and long-term financial independence. Those who prioritize passive streams can leverage existing resources to produce returns that far exceed what linear effort could generate. The power of compounding is central to passive income. Reinvested returns create a snowball effect, producing growth that accelerates over time. Even small initial investments, if managed wisely, can generate significant income decades later. Hard work may create the capital to invest, but passive mechanisms multiply wealth far beyond effort alone. Many individuals underestimate the potential of passive income, focusing instead on earning more from their day job. This approach is limited because it ties wealth directly to personal energy. Incorporating passive streams shifts the dynamic, allowing for financial growth independent of labor constraints and creating resilience against income interruptions. Passive income also provides flexibility and freedom. When wealth is no longer tied to work hours, individuals gain options for lifestyle, career choices, and entrepreneurship. It becomes easier to take calculated risks, explore new ventures, and optimize opportunities without jeopardizing financial stability. Finally, a passive income demonstrates that effort alone is insufficient. Hard work is valuable as a foundation, but building streams that generate returns autonomously transforms financial strategy, creating a framework where wealth can grow exponentially and independently of continuous labor. Education versus financial literacy. Formal education often teaches skills and knowledge, but it rarely equips people with financial literacy, which is critical for wealth creation. Understanding money, investments, debt, and strategic financial planning is what differentiates high earners from the wealthy. Effort in school is important, but mastering how money works produces far greater leverage in building financial freedom. Financial literacy includes understanding cash flow, asset accumulation, risk management, and compounding returns. It emphasizes making money work for you, rather than trading time for it. Without this knowledge, even high-income earners may fail to accumulate lasting wealth as their efforts are spent on consumption rather than strategic growth. The gap between education and financial literacy explains why many individuals work tirelessly yet struggle to build wealth. Academic success often rewards test scores and effort, while wealth creation relies on understanding systems, leveraging opportunities, and applying knowledge practically. Learning financial principles directly impacts decision-making and long-term financial outcomes. Practical financial literacy goes beyond budgeting. It includes investment strategy, portfolio diversification, tax optimization, and business management. Each skill amplifies the effect of work and savings, transforming effort into scalable financial growth. Without this understanding, hard work remains trapped in linear income limitations. Mentorship and self-education play critical roles in closing this gap. Those who study financial systems, market mechanics, and wealth-building principles gain access to strategies unavailable through traditional education. This knowledge empowers individuals to make informed decisions that convert effort into sustainable wealth. Ultimately, financial literacy allows effort to be leveraged effectively. Education provides a foundation, but understanding money, investing, and compounding is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary financial outcomes, enabling long-term independence and growth. How the rich think differently about wealth. The mindset of wealthy individuals differs fundamentally from that of high earners. They focus on building systems, acquiring assets, leveraging networks, and creating scalable value rather than trading hours for dollars. Wealth is viewed as a function of strategy, leverage, and opportunity, not just hard work. Rich thinkers prioritize long-term growth over immediate gratification. They understand compounding, passive income, and financial leverage, applying these principles consistently. Their decisions are informed by knowledge, analysis, and awareness of economic trends rather than the belief that sheer effort alone will produce results. They also embrace adaptability. Economic shifts, technological advances, and market dynamics are navigated proactively, leveraging opportunities rather than resisting change. Hard work alone cannot achieve this level of strategic positioning. It requires situational awareness and forward thinking. Another hallmark is valuing control over assets and decision-making. Wealthy individuals seek ownership stakes, equity, and investment portfolios that generate returns beyond personal labor. This mindset contrasts with wage-based thinking, where security and effort are prioritized over scalable growth. Finally, the rich approach wealth with a combination of preparation, calculated risk, leverage, and strategic execution. Effort is essential, but it is only one component of a broader framework. By thinking differently about money, work, and opportunity, individuals can build financial independence far beyond what effort alone could achieve. So if this video reshaped how you think about effort and wealth, hit like and share it so others can learn the truth too. Subscribe now to explore more insights on money, strategy, and financial independence. Remember, working smart, leveraging wisely, and thinking strategically is what separates true wealth from endless effort.